Hello everybody, this is Days with the Basement Dweller here, and welcome back to Skullgirls Season 1 patch notes. It's been a little bit since I made one of these videos, but it's been a little bit since the game was updated, so it works out that way. But we're back at long last. So, Black Dahlia. The importance of this update cannot be understated. This is the final version of Dahlia. She is officially out of alpha, she is in beta, which is awesome. So this is the version of the character that people can start getting familiar with and learning competitively, which is very cool. A couple things about Dahlia before we get into the kit changes and the balance changes. She now has a second voice pack, which is, I believe, Great Granny. Good Granny is the name of the voice pack. We'll take a little peek at that at the end of the patch notes. Actually, we'll just have it on during the patch notes. And she also has all of her color palettes are officially in the game. The last 4 of these color palettes are only available to Seasons Pass holders, which is, you know, lucky you guys. I own the Seasons Pass, so we can look at them. Very nice color palettes, all things considered. And with that out of the way, we're just going to get right into the patch notes. Cute little voice pack. Anyway, into the patch notes. Starting with Parting Gift, the Sticky Bomb. This super got a little bit of an overhaul. So this is the final version of the super that we're gonna get familiar with. This super, if you remember previously, used to work more like a cancel, where you would throw it and it wouldn't put the opponent into hit stun, but you could cancel out of it. That has been reworked. This now staggers opponents, both when it connects raw and if you hit it in a combo. If I could land. Okay, well. I'm ass, don't mind me. So now you can do, you know, stuff like that. Very cool. You can get rejumps mid-combo and stuff. Detonating the super, or detonating the sticky bomb, no longer costs an additional bar of sticky meter. But to balance that, you can no longer DHC out of it. So you can DHC out of the startup of the bomb to get a free application, but you cannot DHC out. Yeah, that was me trying to input a DHC. You cannot DHC out of the explosion anymore. They reduced the damage of it. It now does way less damage, and it also scales the shit out of your combos. That's a connect with the, you know, during the stagger. If you connect it raw after the stagger, it does half the damage it used to. Now it does 1750 down from 3200. It also just does less damage on block. It went from 400 to 200. So they half the damage on it. But it also no longer breaks armor, which is kind of a big deal. I'm trying to remember, okay, yeah, that has armor on it. So, yeah, the explosion used to break armor, it no longer does that. Parting Gift, now, when you want to stick it to, but that's not the button to do that. When you want to stick it to an ally, like when you use an assist, you now have to use Heavy Punch to input the super. Allow me to... One more time. Okay, so that doesn't work, but that's because I'm stupid. There you go. So, you know, now you can't misinput it, is kind of the point. And stuff like that. That's all the changes that level 1 got. Her level 3, it looks like over the board, or across the board, they reduced Dahlia's damage. the super will automatically set combo scaling to 75% if it's any higher than that. The bunny girls deal no extra damage on counter hit anymore. And if Dahlia is hit with an outtake, they will leave. And if the enemy team's point character is hit with an outtake, they will lose some of their timer. And now if bunny girls are hit with an outtake, they will die instantly. So yeah, you can now insta-kill the bunny girls by out-taking them. I do want to see about this. Yeah, and if Dahlia is snapped out, then it'll get rid of them. Okay. So yeah. And then damage reduced across the board. Stage Hazard, the oil barrel, now has different lengths. It does not always go full screen. So this is light kick, medium kick. This is light kick, heavy kick. This is medium kick, heavy kick, which is the old length of it. And that's now it has 3 different lengths, which is kind of cool. The oil explosion itself does less damage, but the minimum scaling of the super has been increased, which is very useful. And then I got some bug fixes against Annie, Pillar of Creation, and Peacock's Shadow of Impending Doom could fuck up the barrel direction. And the oil would sometimes just blow up if you did a cancel into one of her gunshots or into order up, which has now been fixed. And now Umbrella's Retina Reflector on friendly DHC will no longer detonate them. Ice Shot is more combo friendly, according to this. It will now not advance the combo stage by 2. Yeah, as you see, the combo stage in the little readout went from 2 to 3 instead of 2 to 4. Even though it's 2 hits, they now fixed it so that the scaling and the undizzy don't get affected as much. It also forces scaling to 75 now. It's got a smaller hitbox, and it now does less damage on block, which sucks. But Dahlia is a bit of a strong character. I wouldn't say she's overtuned, but she's definitely been performing pretty well in the preliminary sets people have been playing online with her. So that's always a good thing to see. I love to see these new characters doing well, at least competitively. Standard Shot. No longer, it has less, it's less plus the more you use it in a combo. So each time you connect it, it loses 3 frames of hit advantage. Standard Shot will always knock down when used as her tag and attack. It'll always knock down now instead of leaving them standing, which is both good and bad. Reliable knockdown on tagging, but you no longer get a guaranteed combo as easily because they get knocked down, so now a bit more limited. And then all of her gunshots across the board, except for Rail Shot, got a damage decrease. Standard Shot, 25 damage down. Buckshot lost 75 damage. Rail Shot got a 50 damage increase, and Ice Shot lost 150 damage, which is quite a bit. But Lightning Shot, in return of losing some damage, gained a bit more advantage on hit. You can now get some pretty beefy confirms. Let's see. Counter. There we go. It's DP kick. I was like, how do you do it? So, counter no longer works against bursts. Just want to see if I can get this to activate. Yeah, it just loses to burst outright now. The heavy counter can now only be done if there's a doily on the ground, so that was the heavy counter. If there's no doily, you will always get heavy kick. However, once a doily's placed, you are able to get heavy counter. Because this counter is dependent on teleporting. There we go, yeah. So you now need a doily to do that. It also now works against projectiles. The heavy counter. So you can use it in anti-zoning matchups. It's now much faster on recovery. Counter light plus medium. Or light and medium. Have... Yeah, the heavy one is the only one that works against projectiles. Now get 3 more frames of knockdown, so you can get some pretty beefy combos off that now. They made... So now when you do tea time, and you can now cancel grab into teleport to get more reliable throw conversions, which is a very good change. And the invulnerability on the teleport starts on frame 10. So pretty decent. Empower, an empowered move. Crouch and standing heavy punch lost 250 damage. And jump got more damage. It went from 300 to 400. Whereas standing and crouch went from 750 to 500. This special move does 50 more damage, up from 700, and it has more recovery on block. It is now worse on block, so you can't just throw this out randomly as a combo ender if you're not, you know, guaranteed it. Standing light kick is now a real low. This is a genuine low now. Crouch heavy punch is a little bit faster. It's 1 frame faster, down from frame 18 to 17. Stand medium kick has a better vertical hitbox. So for shorter characters, it'll hit them more reliably, Peacock and Cerebella. Crouch medium kick is now grounded during the backflip, so you will no longer get air reset for throwing this out. Let's see, ending a DP motion and straight down. Will always give you a crouch light kick if you end the input holding down. But if you tap down, you always get the DP, so they're trying to make her a bit more convenient to play. T-time and T-slip will no longer increase combo scaling for no reason. You can now adjust the trajectory of her taunt. So that's neutral. Or, well, that's neutral throw. This is holding back. And this is holding forward. So now there's 3 different... You can do real Dudley setups now, which is kind of funny. You can now press forward during a backdash to cancel into onslaught from your backdash. You previously had to press 2 kicks to do this, but now you can just double tap forward. Onslaught got a bug fix because sometimes this would just travel in the wrong direction. And now, Dahlia can now reload during the downtime, during the round intermission of solo fights, which is very neat. And that is most of the changes. We're going to scroll up to the modern patch notes. Let's see. All right. So, performing order up during onslaught. Is that gunshot? Yeah. So you can now instant buffer. You can make this an instant air instead of having to wait till she reaches the top of her jump arc to do a fireball. You can now do it instantly as long as you input it during the onslaught input. And a bunch of bug fixes. There was an issue where after you hit crouch medium kick, which is the bear trap, you couldn't cancel in to this. If I did the right strength of it. Yeah, you can now cancel into that. It's no longer a link. Or it's no longer forced to be a link. Dahlia's outtake no longer ignites stage hazard, but it can cause the barrel to detonate. But it will not just ignite the oil as it used to. Oh, and with the parting gift chain, so the detonation no longer costs a meter unless you do the old BM of holding it. It'll still cost a meter if you hold the super. But that is the only way that the detonation will cost a meter. And other than that, this is now the final version of Dahlia as far as like this version of Skullgirls is concerned. This is the final version of Dahlia. And that makes me very hopeful that we will very soon be seeing Marie get put into the alpha. So overall, Dahlia got a lot of nerfs. A lot of nerfs, but a lot of quality of life fixes. So she feels more fluid to play. Changes like the onslaught buff, the lack of a DHC from the detonation to weaken her presence on screen, and the overall just damage nerf. She got a lot of scaling set to 75% nerfs, both with her level 3, her C4 super, her ice bomb, because she does a lot of damage. Dahlia, when empowered, hits like a goddamn truck, which is awesome. But other than that, Dahlia, she's now the most complete she's ever been. I wouldn't say, obviously, the weakest she's been was when she had, you know, 2 special moves, but now she has a projectile counter. She's got a hit grab. All of her supers are finished. This is the Dahlia that we're going to have to get used to. And I think she's great. Honestly, I think throughout the last couple of months of this character's development, she's really started to shine. And I'm super happy. I'm here for it. But with that out of the way, first video back in a while. A little bit rusty. I hope you folks enjoyed. If you like what you saw, remember to like, comment, subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Tell me your thoughts on this newest update in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good night. Bye-bye.